here at Conversations with Mrs. Fash is some children grow and some children are raised. If I raise my child will be at the mercy of another child who just grew. So what can everyone do to ensure that every child is safe around your child instead of looking for the bully?
There's no such thing as, perfect ideology or perfect parenting context.
Hello, it's Adekunle Fasheru. Welcome to Conversations with Mrs. Fash. I trust you are doing well. Remember, there are two types of children, those who are raised and those who just grow. So the question is, are you raising your children? As we always do here on the show, we have a very special guest today. But before we go into the guest for today, who I know you want to see, let's talk about the topic. We'll be looking at parental modeling. So many times I often hear people say parents should be good role models. Do parents know who a good role model should be or what a role model should look like? And today we're not just looking at modeling in terms of physical attributes. We're looking at modeling in place of discipline. Modeling, and we have a subtopic where love meets discipline. Yes, we'll be talking about punishment, punitive measures, corrective measures, what to do to ensure that your child feels loved even when you try to be firm. So this morning we have a leadership expert, and by the way, he's also a pastor. He's not here alone. He's here with his beautiful daughter. So get ready for some real action. Welcome with us this morning, Pastor Niyi of the Helpers House Assembly. Pastor Niyi, so good to have you here. Thank you for being here. We're rolling the drums for you. Welcome, welcome. And thank you for bringing Molayo. Molayo, thank you for coming with him. As in, I was so happy when I saw you. I know that, yes, somebody is going to be very close to where somebody else doesn't want to get to. So it will be a wonderful 1 hour together. Welcome one more time. Pastor Niyi, let's go right into our topic. We'll be talking about parental modeling. Whenever we notice a child has done something wrong, the first thing you say is, where are the parents? When you see a child do something remarkable, you also wonder, where are the parents? The parents must have done a good job. When we heard of someone who returned a certain amount of money in euros, parents just wondered, this must be a very good child who was well trained. And then when you hear that someone has done something really terrible, like maybe stole, kidnapping, something around terrorism, we also ask, where are the parents? So it's just assumed that parents are the first role models that children should have. Do you agree?
To a large extent, yes.
Okay.
And to some extent, in some another way, no. Okay. And I'll explain. Okay. Yes, in the sense that I like how you said at the beginning, if the child was raised, it's a yes. Okay. If the child is just allowed to grow wild, it's a no. And there are so many reasons why a child could be raised and a child could grow. Sometimes it's not the parents. So many factors. The child is born in a situation, the parents are not there for some reasons, and all that. But the ideal situation, yes, you will ask for the parents because you are expected to nurture the child, you're expected to groom the child and all that. So, and in my Yoruba language, they talk about akogba, meaning the children they taught and did not take it, and the ones that they taught, and you see, and that's also there. So I tell people that sometimes you cannot take all the credit for it. Yours is to model, and whether you are conscious of it or not, you are doing it. But the challenge for us as parents is to be intentional about modeling even before the kids come. So in that way, I like
that. So even before the kids come,
absolutely.
So this topic is best suitable for those who are not even married,
whether you are married or not.
So this is the best time to start the modeling, according to you.
Whether you are married or not.
Okay. Yes. So I want to hear from Molayo. Molayo, why do you guys make it so difficult when parents try to model everything right? Why do you guys make it so difficult?
Everything right. Yes. That would assume that all parents are right.
Okay, maybe that statistics might be inaccurate.
So, children like to find their independence. Children like to find their independence. And it depends on your style of parenting, I believe. Some parents like to lord their right and wrong choices onto their children. So when you lord it over them, it's easy to rebel and choose not to take it instead of using a different approach, like a gently parenting style, to see how to live life. And sometimes you don't practice what you preach. So like if I had a dad that says jump, but my dad doesn't jump, am I really going to listen to my dad that doesn't jump when he tells me to jump? So you have to practice what you preach.
Practice
so
what
if
you preach.
we can clearly see you don't practice what you preach, why should I listen to you? So
you could be right. You could be right, because most times parents do not believe in the monkey see, monkey do approach. They believe it's monkey say, monkey do. Whatever I say, that's what you have to do. But I need to refer you to a path in the Bible that makes so much sense to me. It's that part where that talks about the arrow that must be launched by someone. Children are like arrows in the hands of a mighty man. But somebody needs to launch the arrow. That arrow can never launch itself. So if the person who's launching the arrow does not decide where the arrow will go, then perhaps the arrow might not go too far. So why do some children, irrespective of the ages and gender, believe that they can actually launch themselves, like making specific decisions? They believe, hey, you've got to trust me. You've already raised me to a point and at this point, trust my judgment. Why don't they understand that an arrow can never launch itself?
I think life just comes in stages.
Okay.
Like there are some things you have to learn the hard way. And at some point, you were all kids at once. You also wanted your own independence. So I just think it just comes with the stage. And parents sometimes just have to let them learn by yourself. It will pain you and you come back. Sometimes it won't pain you. So just let us express ourselves a little bit. You can give guidance and
Pastor Niyi is laughing.
You can give.
So Pastor Niyi, I'm coming back to you, but I'm going to pick a cue from what she said. So this is not the first time I'm hearing a young adult, a Gen Z pro, tell me that parents should let them make their mistakes and learn from their mistakes. But as parents, we know that there are some mistakes that you can never recover from. We also know that there are mistakes that put a permanent stain on you. And because that proverb that they always use to blackmail us, let me not say blackmail, or threaten us when we're younger, that whatever a child can see on a tree, the adult will just sit on his chair and he can see further. So do you guys understand that there are mistakes? So I want a direct question to Pastor now. Pastor, we'll come back to Molayo, but Pastor, tell us, how easy is it for you to let your child make those mistakes, especially when you know that some of them are irrecoverable?
This is quite funny because I've entered a lot of mistakes.
I was talking to a mother yesterday and who was concerned about her kids growing up. And the kids are around Molayo's age. And I say, there are things you must understand that you can't do again. I believe that the time you can raise a child, apart from the fact that you are raising yourself, you are the arrow, the strength, the direction of the arrow, whether it's going to the right direction or how far, is a function of the person pulling.
Exactly.
So if you've not worked on yourself, you can shoot the arrow in the wrong direction. Of
course.
That's one. Number two, also the distance can cover is also a function of the strength that you have.
You have.
So a lot of it starts from before you even start parenting.
How informed are you?
Yeah, how reformed are you? So that even the space the child is born into, and it has nothing to do with status, whether you are rich or poor, it has nothing to do with that. Amazing. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the kind of environment and the experiences you create intentionally. And I tell people, so we have two girls. Molayo is the first and Adekunle is the second. I was not working in Lagos when Molayo was born. I was out of Lagos. But the moment she was turning about 3, I was back in Lagos.
Okay.
Because from that age, it's the age of consciousness and awareness.
And funny enough, that's the first memory I have of my dad when I was 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's, I can't remember anything from maybe 4. So it differs. And science has, science has proven it. So from that stage, even though there are things the way you can start talking to the children from the womb, they sense these things. So, but the consciousness they have is from age 3. And I tell parents that, listen, the space and the experiences you create from the time they are 3 to the time they are 7. Very, very important. Then the second circle is from 7 till about 14, 15. After that, whatever happened, God is your help.
My God.
God is your help. And all these things are...
And that's on period.
Yeah. You know, so... So whatever I needed to do in terms of value, in terms of lessons and all that are things I had to be very deliberate with at that point. And after that, God is our help. Yeah, God will see us through. And that's where the choices come in.
So according to you, Pastor, timing is very important.
Timing is very important.
You just can't afford to joke with that.
You can't because...
And foundation as well.
Yeah, because after that, the major battle. So they will be at those points. Science said that when they move into age 12 or 13, about 27, 30 different chemicals flow into their body. They don't know whether they are teenagers or adults or adolescents, and these things keep banging their heads, and it doesn't settle down till about age 28, 30 in different children. And this is science now. So am I an adult? Am I a child? So they want to experiment different things. But what you can trust at that point are the values you've introduced and the kind of environment you've created where there's open conversation that's in the midst of your so-called, I won't want to call it confusion, just trying to own these values. I've shown them, but it's another thing for them to own it. So according to you, the values can transcend even into their thoughts at certain times. Oh, sure. So I remember when I was going to school, one of the things my dad used to say to all of us is, remember the son of who you are. He didn't need to say more than that. And that was like an icon. You just click it and so many things come out. You know, so, but I remember my dad, my parents, they have values that were very, very clear in our home from childhood. So that the moment we're going to boarding school, whether it's in secondary school or high institution, those things, and even when, no matter how we try to say it, even those of us who call ourselves pastor ministers, you remember that you were not all that very good. You're a bit naughty. But when you are doing those naughty, crazy things, just remember, I know you would like to say, what would Jesus do? And what would Jesus say? Yeah. But just remember some of the things your parents taught you. And it's at those times that the values can pull you back. When they were young, they used to watch this cartoon. Is it Cusco or something? So he had this. I like it because he had, when he wanted to make a decision, he had these two things that would stay on his shoulder and be whispering things to his head. Okay. So for all of us, we have this, call it conscious, what do you call it, that is whispering to our heads, and that's when you own your convictions. And like you said, if the parents have done the work of modeling it well, yes, to a large extent, it can speak to the children and reel them in. But if you have not been true to those convictions, they will just say, you've said it, but this is life now. I'm facing life. It's not strong enough to pull me back. Awesome. You just say that, and they yield.
Beautiful.
You know, so.
Earlier on the show, one of the guests we had previously talked about values being the parent that will guide your children when you're not there.
Sure.
So you must introduce that parent early enough, and then you're confirming it. Thank you so much for that. I enjoyed listening to that. So Molayo, tell us, what is discipline to you? Or what was discipline to you? Discipline. Because I'm not sure that you're doing a lot of discipline now.
No.
Not like before.
No, I feel discipline is a way to rein a person in, a way to, I don't want to say control, but to consciously take care of a person so they don't go astray. You can be disciplined yourself and another person can discipline you.
So are you speaking on behalf of your dad? To you, what did you see discipline as? Were there times when daddy had to spank you? Were there times when mommy had to flog you? I think mommies do the flogging a lot more than the daddies. Were there times when daddy woke you up in the middle of the night? Were there times when he took you out? Did you have some conversations that left you, wishing you were flogged?
So that's my dad. My dad is the talker. My mom is the action lady. Man. So, and honestly, I would rather take a beating than take a word from my dad. It just makes me so sad. So, like I said, discipline for me, my dad, I can count the amount of times my dad has beaten me in my life, like twice. Okay. In my whole 21 years of living. And when my dad is disciplining me and my sister and I, he's loving with it. Like, you can tell it comes from a place of love, not a place anger? Of judgment. You can be angry, but like
so you can still anger. Feel love in the anger?
He's not saying it because he hates. He's like, I'm truly disappointed that you chose to
see disappointment in his eyes?
and he expresses
and in his voice
it.
as well.
He expresses it.
So where do you now get the love? Is it that all the emotions come at once, or
everybody experiences love. So
Okay.
when someone makes you upset or makes you angry, you can still love someone in the midst of your anger, and you have to be cautious of that fact that the person still loves you even though they may be upset with you. And
Okay.
in this moment, you don't need a hug or a kiss. You need to be told off. You need to be scolded so you understand.
so you don't pick offense?
No, not
So
really.
before daddy points out your error, do you know it? Or is it when he talks to you that you now see that, I really went too far? Or is there a part of your heart that just feels, daddy is going to say everything I can hear in my head?
Okay, there's some moments that I'm like, what's he complaining about? Like, this
Really?
isn't a big deal.
What
Why is
is
he making
it?
such a big issue
What
about
is
it?
it?
Like, I didn't do this to make you angry. So what's all this talk about?
So do you always take time to have like a counter, maybe not to argue about what he's saying, or just to let him see that, but daddy,
I have a perfect example. A few weeks
Please,
back, my friend
please.
came over for
Okay.
a sleepover, and
Okay.
I was attending to her because the first time she came over to sleep over. And
okay,
then
with daddy's permission,
my friends they don't really mind who comes over to
so
sleep.
anybody can come.
Yes, fine.
Okay.
So I was attending to her because she was about to leave, and my mother was like, "Oh, he wants to eat. That he wants bread and egg." And I was like, "Okay, I'm coming. I'm going to get back to it." So I forgot. I didn't forget, but I was attending to my friends. My dad came in and was like, "Have you made my food?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm about to make my food." And I said that. So you've not made it. You take me for granted. You do this. You do. I was like, take you for
Daddy.
granted? How? I'm about to get. You said no. Don't worry. Don't bother. I don't need you to do it again. Now I'm feeling bad. Like,
Okay.
oh my goodness, I was going to get to it. I feel
Were
bad.
you really going to get to it?
Confess your sin. She had done it before. The day before.
Because Molayo, I feel one thing you guys, I mean our children, don't always get is we know that there's an inner child that wants to come out to play sometimes, and we know that all you want from us is understanding. The only thing children want from their parents is to understand, even when they are obviously wrong. But do you guys also consider our emotions when you stretch us? Do you?
Sometimes. So I knew I did something wrong. So when my dad is upset, I just let him to simmer a little bit, because I studied psychology. You can't really have some certain conversations when certain emotions are arising.
Of course.
So I let him simmer. I still made the food, and he was like, I don't want to eat this. I just dropped it just in case when you are still hunger will still make you eat. Yes, you are forming for me, but you still eat it later. So after like an hour, I came back. I was like, I'm sorry. I understand. We had a whole conversation about it.
So you apologized.
Yeah,
That's
because
good.
I was wrong.
That's beautiful. Okay, so Molayo, there's this fear that most parents have, and as you were giving me this example, I could feel the fear rising up in my mind. No, we always think if we are not firm, our children will take us for granted. Our children will take advantage of our kindness. You know, when you hug your child and let out all the love and make that child feel like you bring a lot of warmth to me. I don't know how my life would have been without you. And sometimes I feel it gets on the wrong side of some children because they believe my daddy would always understand. My daddy would be angry, but in a very short while, he would understand.
Right.
So, okay, so we have
Guilty
to go.
as charged.
Guilty as charged. We have to go on a quick break, but I am loving this conversation. When we return from the break, I'd like Pastor to tell us how he feels at such moments where you clearly know that my child is taking advantage of my love. Yes, because when we bring down all the standards, what do the children do? Sometimes I think they trample on them. Some other times they expect us to understand that they will come around. But let's listen to Daddy's part where we're back from the break. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll be back in a matter of minutes. Thank you, Pastor, for being here. Thank you so much, Molayo. We'll be back shortly. Thank you.